One bros, speedrunners, noobs, and leets. Welcome once again to the Idiot Gamer Podcast.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to episode 20 of the Idiot Gamer Podcast. Gentlemen, it has been a while.
It really has. Hello.
What's going on? I've got Andy Roberts with me, of course.
Hello.
And I've got Matthew Angel.
Hello.
Over there. What's going on?
Well, you disappeared off abroad for a while.
I did, didn't I?
Andy started a rock band.
Yeah, and learned how to bake pies.
Yes.
And I've just been eating food a lot. So
Yeah, so it's all been going on.
All
it has all
important stuff,
been going
to be
on.
honest. I'm going to begin the show today with a little bit of news.
I like it.
And we've got a news jingle now. So I'm
Whoa.
going to fire off the news jingle.
Okay.
Sounds pro.
It does.
This is the news.
And on to the news for today. So, lots of games things have happened because we haven't done a podcast for a long time. I just picked out a couple of things that might call back on other weird shit that's happened in the last few months.
I'm looking forward to this.
So, as you remember, a game that we originally talked about trying out and then didn't because it was shit was Anthem.
well, we did try it out, and it was
we played the
really,
beta, didn't we?
really terrible.
Yeah, we played the beta and it was quite
Yeah,
rubbish.
it was awful.
The main problem with it was that basically it was a massive grind fest and nobody actually enjoyed playing it.
Yeah.
So it was a game that existed purely for the sake of grinding, to get no enjoyment out of the actual game. And then one weekend, they made some mistake and the game started giving out actual loot that people wanted. And people were like, oh, this is way good. This is much better. But instead of actually following down that route, BioWare didn't do that. They in fact patched the game just recently again to give out less loot.
So they fixed their mistake and made it worse again.
And they've made it much worse.
I would say that would have only been a temporary fix because a lot of the loot was terrible anyway. It's just that it was dropping more frequently. So I think that it would still have been a terrible game regardless of the loot.
Yep. Yeah, quite possibly. But I mean, well,
It's dead now, though, isn't it? Anthem. It's dead.
Is anyone still playing it?
I honestly have absolutely no idea, but I can't imagine they are. They had their little roadmap, didn't they, of all the content that's going to come out?
Content.
If the game is shit, I genuinely didn't even get any enjoyment out of the actual gameplay
not at all.
itself. Just the shooting and
No,
the
that was
flying
it.
around.
It was just a
Didn't enjoy
bit
it.
crap,
Just
wasn't
boring.
it?
Boring as fuck.
I think
But
we
also-
probably mentioned it, didn't we? Did we mention it in January? I don't know
Yeah,
if we played
yeah,
it by
we
that
did.
point. We talked about
I think we had.
the loading screen situation,
Yeah.
which was quite offensive,
Oh, it was terrible.
highly offensive.
Which I might come back to with another game later on.
Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah, so that's all been going on. The other game that we did play and enjoyed for a bit is Apex Legends.
Yeah.
What happened with that? We were playing it for a bit. Apparently, people are weird, aren't they, right? So the point of playing video games is to play the video game.
Yeah.
yes.
You'd have thought.
Yeah.
Not in the case of Apex Legends now, where people are doing this thing called piggybacking,
Right.
which is where basically they go in with a higher ranked player, don't actually play, they're just logged in, they just keep themselves alive basically in the game. I don't mean literally run around and try and be alive. I mean keep their avatar logged into the game and
Right.
do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they just get ranked up because they get carried by higher
Yeah.
level players.
Okay.
So there's loads of people doing this in order to get ranked up without having to play, and I just think isn't the point to play?
So
Especially because getting ranked up in Apex doesn't really do anything.
no, so I remember playing a game. It was one of the first online games I ever played, and it was one of the
Leisure Suit
Rainbow
Larry
Six.
5.
Rainbow Six. It was that wasn't online. Well,
or a game. I
Yeah.
don't think.
but yeah, but no, I was basically I kept respawning. When you got killed, you respawned, and you respawned to the nearest respawn point to the place where you got killed. And this was at the top of the stairs, and then there was this guy camping at the bottom of the stairs. He killed me. I respawned back in the room at the top of the stairs, and the second you opened the door, he just killed you. It was impossible. And he was just sat there doing that. It's like, you're not having fun, mate. You're not enjoying yourself. It's just and it's that
joyless grinding for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Some people seem to like that.
Yeah, but I think Apex Legends also has a problem with cheating at the moment in terms of
That's right, it does,
because they weren't expecting it to be as big as it was, and therefore they didn't put all the sort of blocks
so there's
in
some
there,
loopholes and things
yeah, and they've been trying to work on them, which apparently has meant that that's delayed additional content going in.
Gotcha.
Because that was my problem with it, is I hit the wall after a couple of weeks because you'd played all the characters, and although they have differences, they're not that different in terms of the way you play. It's minor differences, and you're on the same map and you're in the same places, and I'm terrible as well, so
that was the problem. I found that the difficulty level ramped up very quickly over the first few weeks, then all of a sudden it became not as much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that, but that was also the case with Fortnite, and that didn't stop us enjoying Fortnite for a much longer time.
Yeah, that's true.
And I actually think that's partly because the games in Apex, which we quite enjoyed about it, the games in Apex are much shorter.
Yes.
And as a result, they're a lot more frenetic. You see action and combat much more frequently, and therefore our lack of ability was more of a hindrance for us.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Whereas in Fortnite, there was a lot more kind of running around and just mucking around and enjoying yourselves, and the games were longer for that reason. So, I think it... I really liked it, and I think I could have carried on playing it. I kind of appreciate you guys...
we just kind of eased off it. I don't think there was any real reason.
No, but I wasn't overly fond of the world either, the map. Like, it just didn't really kind of grab me particularly.
Talking of worlds that you weren't very happy with, Andy, the Monster Hunter world.
Oh yeah, it was rubbish.
Well,
no, it was.
If we had Matt Holland on, he'd be able to defend himself.
Yeah,
but
I'm not attacking him.
Just to give you another shot,
Matt.
Yeah,
okay.
He's a lovely man.
Just to give you another shot, it is now free to play until the 20th of May.
Is it? Because
Free to play to the 20th of May.
I saw that it was $15.99, and I almost picked it up because Matt had recommended it, but then I was like,
get on it. FTP.
But like Andy, I didn't enjoy the beta. I thought it was awful. So
yeah,
given that Matt was trying to get us back, I'm willing to give it another go for free.
Yeah.
What you got to lose?
Yeah.
What you got to lose?
my time.
Well,
my
yeah,
precious
that's true.
time.
I'm up for it, but I have got a lot of games on the go at the moment. So,
well, would you be willing to put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to Mortal Kombat 11?
No.
No?
I would be willing to play it once if it was someone else's copy on the fighting bit, but I am not
on the fighting bit.
I am not playing that microtransaction grind fest.
It's apparently a
bullshit.
massive grindathon.
Yeah.
I've seen people there's all kinds of weird background stuff where you've got to unlock towers, and to unlock the towers you've got to play 1,000 bounce or whatever. It looks pretty weird. I mean, why? Just why?
No one knows. It's just companies now just decide that actually, like, every game needs to have some sort of in-depth, like, progression system that involves some sort of weird microtransactions.
It's just the way they can, the best way to, most successful way rather to monetize things after your original shell out, isn't it? And it's, and games are becoming worse because of it, much worse because of it. In fact, we get massively hyped games like Anthem, which it was meant to be this amazing kind of like legendary kind of almost kind of groundbreaking new experience. But it was just a massive rehash of everything that's come before it, and had no discernible, actual, enjoyable game. Yeah. There was no game.
Yeah. It feels like things are getting more insidious, though. Like,
massively.
It seems like it's getting more grabby.
I think
and in sort of like nasty, underhand ways.
The weird thing for me is that there is nothing but bad publicity around all of this stuff. You know, you look at what happened with
it's making money. People are spending money, right?
People are. You say that.
People. Goddamn people.
I personally, the only game I've paid for things is Overwatch, and that was very early on because I was enjoying it.
All your money goes to Blizzard.
Yeah, but that is true. My payslip says, national interest, right? And then it's got tax, and then it's got Blizzard cut.
Nice. Yeah.
But they're getting such bad publicity, but they're still getting money because there are people out there who will buy them.
Yeah.
And a lot of the streamers get donations from their viewers so that they can spend these on microtransactions.
Is that right?
Yeah. And
That
what happens then is you get these young impressionable people who go, oh, that person's got that, I'm going to do that so that I'm like that person.
And also, you bear in mind as well, there's a generation of video gamers now for whom this is the norm.
Yeah.
This is normal. This is what video games are.
Yeah.
And 90% of their video game interaction is actually just watching other people playing them on TV and then going to try and emulate them and then shelling out all the cash to try and get all the same skins and all that kind of thing.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I like watching people play video games as much as the next guy.
I don't.
But I like it because I watch channels where I like the people. And the game they play is almost irrelevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I like to watch people that I find funny or interesting just sitting around playing games as like a background thing. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah.
But I guess there is a whole other subculture of people watching who are actually like trying to be better at a game or you know, lusting after getting certain loot or whatever it is.
I think it's more that there's a lot of people out there who that is their main interaction with people. It's like TV for them. So the celebrities for them are the streamers.
Yeah, okay.
And you'll see people making donations just so that the streamer says their name.
Well, that's the
like
super
that.
chat thing, right?
Yeah,
that YouTube has got now. So instead of, because there used to be all kinds of different ways that the YouTubers are trying to monetize their channel. So one way that individual creators can get monetization on their channel is by super chat. So people basically pay with a in YouTube currency for a super chat, and it gets their chat knocked up to the top of the list. And so this is another way for content creators to make money, which is good. Obviously, YouTube's taking their own cut of that, but like you say, it creates it's like creating like a weird kind of like a culture of celebrity kind of thing. It's quite strange.
I'd say around the whole microtransactions thing is that I've got a winner, I've got a villain of the past month, and I've got a hero of the last month with regard to that. So the villain is shows how behind the times I am with a lot of stuff. I decided to try Candy Crush.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Which Saga?
Yes.
Oh, what a game!
So effectively, it's just one of those match 3 things where you get like a certain number of moves to clear a board or do a certain amount of things.
Yeah.
The board is randomized, so there is the potential that it is impossible to do that.
Sorry, carry on. Go on, carry on.
So what I don't get is that it sets you a target that may be unachievable. You get to the end and it goes, "Oh, do you want a couple more moves for this amount of gems?" And it's like, no, I don't, because those things should be puzzle games. They should be either skill-based or puzzle games. There shouldn't be like this randomness element, which means that it's impossible for you to do it first time.
Can I just quickly interject there? It is not random. That game is literally, they program it so you come up against brick walls. I mean, there's no random element to it. It's deliberately manipulated so you cannot succeed. So you have to then purchase
But I think that's right. You're saying like these games should be puzzle games. That's not the point. Yeah. They only exist to make money.
Yeah.
In that case, they're not really designed to give you any enjoyment from playing the game. They're only designed to trick you into wanting to play it more.
Yeah,
and they have all of the kind of like sparkly kind of little wins, all of the micro endorphin kind of rushes you get
Constantly.
All of that stuff, and like those explosions of color and ting ting ting, all these wonderful positive noises when things happen and you clear the whole screen. Oh yeah, this is amazing! I want more of this, and they do that. And each level is kind of easy, and then you come up with a more difficult one. But it's not difficult. It's not difficulty levels. The game is literally just not dropping the gems in that you need it to. It's horrendous. Yeah. It's not a game. No. It's not a game.
And calling itself a puzzle game where there's no solution. Yeah. That's the villain. The hero, I was drunkenly talking about this in the pub the other night, so I'm afraid, Si, you're going to have to listen to this second time. But I think we need to reflect back on our game of the year last year, which is God of War, which has had no DLC, there's been no microtransactions, there's been no paid addition to that at all. You bought that game, you got the whole game. I just think we need to flag that up as a massive win for Sony in terms of the way they have approached that game.
Yeah, I agree. I think give the nature of the fact that it's a title produced by the people who own the platform is a benefit to them.
I agree.
But that should be shown as a shining example of how successful a video game can be and well received a video game can be without having to go through all that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the trouble is that they will probably look at the amount of money that Sony made actually on that game. They go, well, they've made lots of money on that game, but we will make 10 times as much money on a similarly successful game because of the and that's literally all they give a shit about.
And this is why the exclusives are more important than ever, really, because the exclusives are the only games that we're ever going to get now that don't have microtransactions.
Yeah,
I think.
I
Probably.
agree.
Which is very, very sad.
Yes.
But that's how we got Spider-Man and that's how we got God of War,
I'd say that in indie games over the last year, I always had a problem with
Yeah.
pixel art games, but a lot of the indie games are pixel art.
Oberlin,
I've
amazing.
That's not pixel art though. That's like
It's its own special magic thing, isn't it?
But
So
what I
good.
would say is that a lot of the indie games don't have microtransactions on like PlayStation or and
Although
actually they're better quality a lot of the
Just
time.
saw today that they're announcing a mobile version of Dead Cells.
That can do one.
And Matt literally the very first thing he said was microtransactions. Like, yes, that might be.
Well, probably because you can't charge a tenner for a game on the mobile platforms, can you?
I don't know. There are some that
You
go
can't.
into
Yeah,
that.
but then none that are successful.
No.
I reckon this is just their way of bankrolling their next game.
Probably.
I don't have a problem with that, to be honest.
No, and what I would say is I trust the developers of Dead Cells as long as they're the ones doing this mobile game.
Well, that's often not the case, is it?
No,
it's like,
indeed.
I don't know who's doing it, but oftentimes they just take the license and someone else does it.
If it's a straight port, fair enough. Like, but I don't know if you saw the video that I posted earlier in the week.
That was very good.
As a game designer, who is it? Twin Motion, I think it is, or
okay.
Motion Twin or something. They just basically talked about how they designed Dead Cells, and it was just like wonderful to hear these people. There was no talk about like, we're going to get our brand across or anything like that. It was all about player experience.
Nice.
It was all about if you miss a jump by a couple of milliseconds, we're not going to punish you for it. We're going to actually let you make that jump. If you miss the ledge by a little bit, you're going to hit that ledge. Because they said it's not a platforming game. And they said they tried it without these assists.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
And they said it was frustrating, so they took it out. And that sort of game design is wonderful to me.
That is very cool.
Whilst we're talking about it, I was going to talk about it when we're doing what we're currently playing, but I may as well talk about it now. I'm very closely tempted to go back and review my game of the year because I'm still playing Dead Cells, and honestly, the more I play it, the more I enjoy it, and actually, it's opening up now that there's a whole bunch of other fucking levels that I'd never even contemplated, and some of them are super difficult. So they've chucked in these extra super difficult kind of dungeons that you can go to that if you want, and you can often get the option, you get choice. Do I want to go to the super difficult one, or do I want to go to the kind of the normal one? Yeah. And so you can choose to go through it. Honestly, that game has depth upon depth upon depth. It is a fucking brilliant game. It's
weird because I was speaking to Si and John in the pub the other night, and I said I think if I did my game of the year, Dead Cells would be higher. Now I don't know if it would hit God of War off for me.
I prefer it to God of War. I really do.
But I think you're looking at probably second or like potentially even first, because I've played it for 3 hours today. It's granted I haven't played it for a few weeks or anything, but I've gone back into it and they've added extra content in for free.
And what the best thing is that I quite often do that. I'll have a spell off of it. I'll have a month off of it, and then I'll go back to it, and then I'll play it solidly for a month again. And then you go off it for a month, and you can do that. You can go straight back in.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. Game of the year every year is obviously Overwatch. Right, before we go finish the news, one other piece of important video game related news.
Okay.
A brand new little fella has appeared on the scene and made everybody extremely happy with his wonderful looks and his fast little feet. A little fella
my God.
called a Sonic the Hedgehog. How about that guy?
My words.
How about his strange human hands? His weird, childlike teeth, and his long,
weird,
slim, but muscular legs.
You know when they get pictures of people and then they put a real person's lips on them to talk.
Yeah.
You know, like in
Like that
comedy
baby
series.
in that horrible AA ad.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. That's going to work well with Matt when he listens to this. Because AA, I'm
As our
guessing,
only
is just...
listener.
Well, I'm guessing that's not even the AA over there or whatever. But, like, the look of Sonic the Hedgehog is the stuff of nightmares, isn't it? It really
terrifying.
is. I don't think it's the worst... I think it's probably the worst thing about the film, but...
Well,
The trailer.
I don't even care because I wouldn't even expect the film to be good.
No.
But I'd expect Sonic the Hedgehog to look a little bit like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't think that's too much to ask,
Instead
is
of
it?
what? Sonic the Blue Child.
What
It's weird.
is it?
It's really interesting because obviously this film is not aimed at us, right? Because even though we are the original Sonic generation, if you like, Sonic the Hedgehog is a much bigger thing now, and it is a huge. There is a huge fucking audience for Sonic the Hedgehog for kids.
Yes.
I mean, it's massive. It is of a brand in its own right. It is huge. So I asked Lily, who is 11, massive video game fan. And she's an enormous Sonic the Hedgehog fan. She loves Sonic. And she's got loads of little kind of cuddly toys and stuff like that. So I thought, well, here's the test.
Yeah.
Here's the test.
Show her a
'cause
picture
I'm
of
not the
Sonic.
audience. Well, I said to her, have you seen the trailer for the new Sonic movie? And I went, she went, yeah, I have. And so, what did you think? And she went, well, it's not Sonic. It looks horrible.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
it.
but she actually she liked the look of the film,
Okay.
and the film like an exciting kind of
Yes.
Sonic the Hedgehog movie appeals to her in every way. But the design of him she found was horrible. Didn't like
So
it.
there is a conspiracy theory that is not the Sonic design for the movie, and that they've done this on purpose to raise awareness for the movie and to basically get people much more excited, because now the producers have gone back and said, we are going to change Sonic for the final movie. Oh, are you now? Just like that. Re-fucking render every scene of the entire movie with a newly designed character.
I'm guessing, though.
I think they might be trolling us. It is possible.
But I'm guessing because that's all computer generated and done on a separate sort of scale to the live action, it can't be like...
It's a massive job. Like, so when you bring in characters like that, they have to use tracking and stuff like
Sure.
that. It's a major job.
But like there's that video game in Japan, I can't remember which one it was, where the Japanese actor
Yes.
got done
Yeah.
for doing drugs, and they've recast him, and because the actors are actually the facial models as well, they've reinserted like this new guy into the whole game.
That's easier in
That's
easier in a live rendered game than something that's pre-rendered. So basically, it will take them a fucking long time basically to re-render all those scenes. So I have a feeling that maybe they've done us.
And if they have, all power to them, because that is an absolutely magnificent marketing stunt.
Can you imagine the meeting for that? It's like, right, we've got this character. It looks exactly like Sonic, right? Yeah.
But no one gives a fuck about our movie.
Right.
So
what we're going to do is come up with the most obnoxious, nightmarish thing you can think of. Oh, how about we give it child teeth?
yeah, but that's how else would they have reached that result?
I don't know.
How else would they have got there?
See, I reckon. So what's
Crazy.
feasible is that the designers like came up with like 5-10 different
Sonics,
options
yeah.
for Sonic, and then that one was there, and they go, "Oh my god, that's horrific!" Oh, wouldn't it be funny if and then that was where it started. They thought, wouldn't it be funny if we trolled people, and then they thought, actually, do you know what? That'd actually be a really good marketing gimmick.
And already right now in the can is a completed movie with the right looking Sonic.
There is the other option that they've hired the one person in the world who doesn't know what Sonic looks like.
Yeah, that's possible,
and they're so embarrassed by the fact that they don't know what Sonic
He's
is.
such a nice guy.
Yeah.
They don't want to.
They've hired him, but he doesn't want to admit that he doesn't know what Sonic looks like. So he's basically phoned up his like mum or his sister or something, and he's just gone, right, describe Sonic the Hedgehog to me. They were like, well, he's got a little face, he's got teeth, he's got blue spiky hair, and they've come up with this thing.
I mean, he does. I suppose all of those things are true, but also, why has he got electric hair? So I don't think that was ever a thing in the game.
no.
When he used to spin, he used to have a little bit of...
No, I don't think he did.
Well, how was he killing enemies if well, it was just his hair?
Well, no, it wasn't his hair. It was just because he was this kind of
was
like
so
really
fast.
fast ball of hedgehog.
I just assumed he went so fast that it was electric. Like,
No, I don't remember there ever being any electricity in Sonic the Hedgehog.
I think it's only when Jim Carrey got involved.
that's not the problem I had with the trailer.
No, fair point. So we'll see what happens with old Sonic, but that's pretty weird.
It is pretty weird, yeah. And regardless of what was ever going to happen with the design of him, that film was always going
It's always going to be
shit.
terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah. But
Awful.
at least make it look like Sonic, because it's almost in the same category as that very, very strange like 90s Super Mario movie.
Oh God, yes, with
Yeah.
like Bob Hoskins.
Which had nothing to do with Super
Oh,
Mario
yeah.
in any
Do
respect.
you remember Cooper? Wasn't Cooper? Who was Cooper?
All I remember is that it was set in a kind of like weird dystopian future. And it was basically like a Tim Burton Batman movie, but with Mario.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper was like Cooper, and
What a world.
he wasn't a giant lizard. He was just a man with like spiky hair.
What a world.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah.
Very, very strange. Right, and that concludes the news, unless you've got any more news.
I have no more news.
No news from me.
No news.
It's good news.
Okay, take one little quick break and then we'll carry on with what are we doing next?
Don't know. Video game
This
podcast.
is we haven't done it for a long time, so I'm
Don't know,
not sure.
you're the podmaster.
I know, I am, and that's why we're going to stop now, and then we're going to come back with what you're playing now. What are you playing now?
I mean, I liked the new jingle at the start of the show, but that one needs work.
the jingles are just me saying the topic.
Amazing.
That's the jingle. So, what have you been playing, Matthew Angel?
Well, I've been playing a lot of the games that I've been playing for the last year. So Dead Cells I'm back into. I have been playing a lot of Overwatch on my own, solo queuing in competitive in an attempt to get to platinum.
Oof.
I'm currently at 2200.
Come back, we're going to do Overwatch Corner later.
Ooh, nice. What I have played this week is Devil May Cry 5.
Oh, that's very interesting. That's the new one, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell me all about it from scratch, because I've never played any Devil May Cry game.
Neither had I until yesterday.
And?
I don't know how to rate it at the moment.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It does. It looked like a lot of fun on the game reviews. I've only played about an hour and a half.
Have you
so
done the one where you
I'm not
remote
judging it
control the tiger or whatever it is?
What?
Yeah, one of the characters, you don't actually fight yourself. You
no, I
send
haven't
out
got
these
him
guys
yet.
to go and do the
I've
fight
just got
for
the
you.
robot.
Looks very cool.
I've just got the robot hand man at the
Oh,
moment.
you're the guy that can smash people with a giant motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it all sounds fucking amazing,
Well,
to be honest.
I'll be honest. I looked at it and I thought it's just going to be a like hack and slash. It's going to be fun. You're just going to be like hitting buttons and doing mad combos and stuff. And there is a bit of that to it. I must admit, after an hour and a half, I was massively disappointed. But I don't know if that's because I'm just going through the sort of early parts of the game where it teaches you the mechanics.
Okay, yeah,
But
maybe.
It feels like they've made the controls a little bit too complicated. What I want to do is I want one button for hit, I want one button for shoot, I want one button for jump, I want one button for roll.
Yeah.
And they've made it where you have to hold down R and then do up. It's basically like, you're doing a special move in Street Fighter to do some of the combos. It has a thing where you can turn it on to auto, so it is like that. But at that point, it's too easy.
Right. Okay.
So it's well up your street at that point.
Sounds great.
But this is why I was talking about loading screens as well. So because I've only played the introduction, what happens is you have a big old cutscene.
Yeah.
And then you get into the action and you kill a couple of things, and then it goes to another cutscene. And then it cuts out and you kill a couple more enemies. It goes to another cutscene because it's trying to build this like thing.
Okay.
And I found myself just wanting to go, look, just stick me in a pit with like 25 enemies and I can just go at them. Yeah. And that's not what it is. I wanted it to be like God of War. God of War games used to stick you in, like when they were hack and slash, right in, and you'd be fighting a giant, like, I don't know, squid or something. It'd be like massive. And it would be this. And with this, it just felt like it was holding my hands, but also it was infringing on my time because it was significantly more cutscenes than it was.
I wonder if we're just a bit less patient than we used to be as well.
I think I am.
Because I used to love a fucking cutscene. I used to be like, here we go, enjoy a nice good cutscene.
Yeah, yes and no.
We've all played Metal Gear Solid.
Well, I was going to say Metal Gear Solid was always where it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I think 2. I really enjoyed that as a game. Good, I really enjoyed it, but the cutscenes drove me around the fucking bend.
I think one of them's like 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
But I just think we had more patience back then. I think now our time's a bit more precious, so you worry about it. And that's why, we were talking earlier, because I was trying to get back into Borderlands, but I played it a while back and I couldn't get into it, Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
But I think it's partly because you're kind of, when you start playing a new game, you're like, how long am I going to be in this game? How long am I going to put into this game after this point? And when you play it and you don't enjoy it for like 10 minutes, you're like, right, well, I'm not putting 25 hours into this thing.
Yeah. And that's the point I've hit with, and this is really bad because there's 3 playable characters. It may be that I just don't enjoy this one character, or it may well be that I'm in the introductory bit where it will get much better. I've just hit a boss. But the trouble is, I'm finding that I'm doing these combos and it's telling me I'm doing really well, but all I'm doing is mashing buttons. Literally, I'm just going like
Imagine
that.
how Andy felt when he was playing Dark Souls 2.
He did a fine job.
He did a lovely old
But this
job.
is the thing. While I was playing this, I was thinking back to the time that I was playing Bloodborne. And I was thinking, actually, Bloodborne as a combat game
Don't say it.
was more enjoyable.
Come on now.
But
you're breaking one of the core tenets of this
I
podcast.
know. I still hate like Souls-like games, but I'm willing to give it a chance because I want to keep playing it. But I'm massively disappointed, and the problem is it's going to take, because I've gone back to Dead Cells and stuff like that. I want to play Dead Cells.
Yeah.
It's going to be a chore for me to go back into, and I'm going to have to
yeah.
break this like wall to do it. I'm going to do it because I'm going to give it a chance. Everyone said it's so good, but so far I've been massively disappointed.
Is it still like 50 quid?
No, I bought it because it on download on PSN it was 35.
I think it might have to come back down a bit more for me. I
well,
think.
my level was 30 originally, and then I saw it at 35. I went into game and it was 42 pre-owned, and I was like, right, okay, I'll get it for 35.
Because there are a lot of games recently that I've thought, if they were cheaper, I might give it a go. I was even thinking that as we're slagging off From Software. I was even thinking that about the Shadows
Sekiro.
Die Twice
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
To give it a go, because
A lot of people
it
who
looked
like-
like it had a bit more going for it.
A lot
to
of
be
people
honest.
who like Dark Souls don't like Sekiro. So
That means we might like it. There you go.
we might not though.
That is true. I don't know. Andy, what's been going on in your PlayStation?
I've been playing quite a lot. Sort of since we last spoke, I've played a lot. I quickly talk about that. I started the Spider-Man DLC.
Oh, I haven't done that
I
yet.
haven't
But
done it either.
I think I left too much time between finishing.
in which case we're all
this
fucked.
DLC.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest, it was good and it was entertaining, interesting and stuff. But it was. I just felt like, oh, this is the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've lost my enthusiasm for this game now, so it didn't grab me quickly enough for me to carry on. I might go back to it at some point, I'm sure. But it was. There was
That's
also
a bit of a shame.
It is a shame. Although Matt Holland played it straight after. Well, not straight after, but quite soon after
as
finishing
soon as
the
it was
game.
released, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he really, really enjoyed it. And I think that's just I think it's my fault for taking too long to get back into it. I reckon it's going to be enjoyable enough that maybe if I went back to it in say 6 months' time, maybe, and I'd forgotten about it a bit, maybe I might enjoy it again. Don't know, but
Or maybe if you got to the point where you wanted to replay the whole game and then you included the DLC as part of that playthrough,
maybe. So what else have I played? Have we spoken about Tetris 99 yet? I don't think we have.
We did talk about it briefly.
Yeah.
You said it was really hard.
Yeah, I got quite into it. I've actually cancelled that Nintendo subscription thing now, just because I had it for a couple of months just to give it a go, but there was nothing none of the NES games interested me in any way, shape, or
No,
form.
exactly. I'm not really into that
but-
until Nintendo gets there.
I played Donkey Kong for a bit. That was good, but
A ridge.
it was only good for about 10 minutes, and then I was bored.
Played a bit of Trials Fusion.
was good.
Enjoyed that. Yeah, that's a good little game. It is like it has got the whole Insidious kind of like loot box monetization going on. It is all just they're
so addictive, though, Trials games, and they look so cool. They feel so good,
and it
well.
is good. But I mean, it's just cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
And the game is still really, really super like enjoyable,
Yeah,
and it
They're
has
so
that.
polished, aren't they?
Yeah, and it has that kind of just one more quick go. One
Yeah,
more quick
yeah,
go.
yeah.
They even acknowledge that in one of the loading screens. It's like you have the little tips.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the tips is like I can't remember what it was, but some kind of like funny nod to like Trials players at 2 a.m. Just one more go. It's like you just do just one more go, and you suddenly find yourself hours down the line.
Yeah, it's very good.
So I've been enjoying that. I'm playing that on the Switch. Just because it's the right.
Okay,
it's-
nice. I
it's
didn't
the-
know it was on there. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I got it on Switch.
Oh,
as well.
cool.
I think it's.
It was cheaper.
Yeah.
That was my main
Yeah.
driver.
It's the graphics are much less nice
Right,
on the
okay.
Switch than they are on the PlayStation, but nevertheless,
Yeah.
But especially on the small screen, you don't even notice that
yeah,
if you're
very
playing on the
cool.
small screen. I played a little game just because I was a bit bored and I was looking at some of the indies. I played a little game called Mages of Mistralia.
That
Which
sounds like
was-
it's up Matt Street.
which was it's
away.
kind of like this. It's kind of like this little Zelda-like kind of
Okay.
adventure-y kind of game. When I say adventure, I don't mean point and click, like Zelda, kind of
Yeah.
like isometric, kind of
Yes,
wandering around,
gotcha, yeah.
and really, really pretty graphics. And the idea behind it is really nice. So you're playing this young girl who's she finds out she's a mage and she's got these kind of wizarding powers, and then she gets kind of kicked out of her village because they don't like the mages because they made bad things happen and stuff like that, and they're just prejudiced against people who have
Okay.
magical powers for being freaks.
Freaks.
And so the story is nice. It builds up really nicely. The tempo that it builds up and it eases you into the game are really good. And it's got this kind of really nice thing where you, as you go on, you learn these new different magical powers and magical skills. So one of them is you learn the power of ice. And then you learn the power of fire, and then you learn the power of movement.
Right.
And then what you can do is you can then combine your different powers together. So you can combine the power of ice and movement. So instead of blasting like a sheet of ice in front of you, you can combine it with the movement left, and it kind of shoots one round to the left. And so you start combining all of these different magical powers to build more and more complex spells to deal with all these little micro puzzles that appear in the
nice.
game as it goes along.
Very cool.
And in concept and everything like that, it's absolutely fucking wonderful. It's got two major flaws. One of which is loading screens. So like you have like very small bits of the map that you wander around in, and then you kind of go off out of that bit, and then there's a really long load before. And that it came to a head at one point where you have to go out to a bridge where there's a man who needs help building it. And you get told to go and speak to that man. You go out there, and it's like this really long load screen. You go out, you walk 2 yards, you speak to him, and then he goes, "Yeah, that's great. You need to go back and tell the people in the village X, Y, and Z." And then you have to go immediately back
So
out through the
annoying.
load screen.
That's like that Anthem bit where
Yeah,
you go into
yeah,
a cave,
very much.
read something,
Very
go
much.
back out of the cave, and have
So
the same
annoying.
But it
loading
was,
screen.
but it was
Oh, God.
actually kind of more pronounced than that. It was quite difficult. And the other issue is the combat is it's not great, and they've not got the you know things that when things are difficult.
Yeah.
But you feel like this is difficult. I just need to get better at it.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sometimes the combat you feel like you're being punished, and you
Right.
feel like and actually it's not meant to be as difficult as it is. It's just not the
Poor
combat's-
game design.
Yeah, it's not quite working how
Yeah.
it's meant to.
Yeah, that's
like
frustrating.
people off like you're dealing with a group of baddies. You're dealing with them, and because as you move on in the motion of the fight, you kind of move on accidentally into another bit of area that opens up, and all of those baddies suddenly come swarming on you. And
Okay.
you weren't supposed to be fighting those guys;
Yeah.
you're supposed to be fighting these guys over here.
Yes.
And suddenly you've got both of them on you.
Yeah.
So just little things like that have not been designed well enough. So it's a shame. Like everything about the game looks and feels brilliant, but just doesn't quite tie together because of those couple of little issues.
That's a shame.
Interesting. I've been playing a game that both looks and feels brilliant and is fucking amazing.
If you say FIFA, I'm leaving.
No. It was a game that was free on the PS Plus, The Witness.
Okay.
Oh, I played this. Yes,
It's very good.
I think you played it as well, didn't
Oh,
you?
it's
Andy?
good.
Don't know.
Didn't it give you?
It is a-
motion sickness.
I have no idea.
It's
What
a
is it?
first-person game where you walk around like a little island, but there's no first-person game action, really. You just walk up to various panels and solve puzzles. So you walk around the island, there's a door that's locked or something. You walk up and you go up and you press a button and then you start solving the puzzle. It's amazing. I've forgotten the name of the guy that did it, but he's done a bunch of indie games, and this one was a big deal. Like, people were talking about this 3 years ago, something,
Yeah.
2 years ago, just because it's a really, really simple design where the puzzles you're solving are basically just a grid, and you have to get a line from one side of the grid to the other side of the grid.
Right.
Almost every puzzle is like that. There's a few variations, but it's basically that. But they start off so simple, and there is no hand-holding, there is no exposition of any kind. Just the way the puzzles are laid out in the world teaches you how to do the puzzles.
okay.
And each time that you get some other element, it teaches you through doing the next thing that you need to know to solve a puzzle that will be coming later. It is fucking brilliant.
There are bigger puzzles as part of the world, so within the world there'll be like
No spoilers.
no. But I thought you played this because I thought it gave you motion sickness, but that may have been Shane.
I have absolutely zero memory of this game, so I can't. When
Maybe it wasn't. You.
I think is it on this month or was it last month now? I think it might be last month.
Might have been last.
Well, the thing is, I go every month. I go, and I've forgotten to. I haven't done it in May yet, but I go on and I
You just get it, yeah.
purchase without downloading. Just
You've probably
so
got it then. So check it out. Yeah.
What I would watch out for, and I know you're prone to this, is a lot of people reported motion sickness on it. So
Yeah, okay.
I don't know why, because most of the time you're looking at a non-moving screen.
I think it was just because it's a first-person game, and
Yeah.
because it's not that realistic. It
okay.
sometimes gives you, and the horizon's not always defined.
I'm
and stuff
getting
like
motion
that, so-
sickness just thinking about it now.
I wouldn't have even thought about that, but there you go. So there you go. But that's The Witness. Fucking amazing.
Speaking of puzzle games,
Yeah.
have either of you played Baba Is You?
I have
No.
not played Baba Is You.
So it looks like garbage,
Right.
and it is brilliant. It's on Switch. I think it's on all. I think it's multi-platform, but I bought it on Switch, and it's a puzzle game where effectively Baba is this little creature, and Baba is you, and you know Baba is you because it's got a block that says Baba, a block that says is, and a block that says you. If you then see across the thing that there's something that says block is move, you can move blocks. If it says block is and there's no move next to it, you can't move them. If you then moved rock to where Baba was by pushing it, you would turn into the rock rather than Baba, and you've got to solve these puzzles by changing the words through the movement of whatever you're doing and changing the status of what everything's doing.
That sounds crazy.
It's absolute madness. It is so much fun, though.
Nice.
Although it is one of those things where you'll occasionally hit a wall and you will be tearing your hair out over a solution.
Sounds really confusing.
It is. Sometimes it will be like fire is kill, and you can just get rid of the kill so that fire doesn't kill you anymore and stuff like that. It's really, really interesting.
Sounds very cool.
It is. It got well reviewed everywhere. It's really, really fun. So far, I think it's probably the best game I've played this year because I don't think it's been a great year for games.
Go.
Mind you, it's a third of the way through.
I know.
And there's one game, and it's an indie game that I've played and
Anyone
enjoyed.
played the motorbike game?
I don't know. Trials?
No. There's like a
Road Rash.
No, yeah. I think it's basically like a modern version of Road Rash. It's a game where you play a guy who's in a motorbike gang. It's called Gone.
Oh, Days Gone.
Days
No,
Gone.
Oh,
no.
right. No.
It looks dull.
Does it?
Doesn't appeal to me.
It looks
particularly.
like The Walking Dead, the computer game.
Yeah.
Okay. Zombies are a bit done, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't think
Do
it's
we
got
need more
zombies in.
Oh, it doesn't.
Oh, it might do. I don't know.
No, I think it does. That's
Yeah,
the one with the, yeah.
But yeah, it just doesn't look fun.
I do quite fancy playing that World War Z
Yes.
Left 4 Dead rip-off.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
if we play that online,
Yeah.
that might be quite good.
I am
Is it cheap?
100% in. I don't know.
I don't think it's done massively well, so I suspect it probably is
If it's
quite
cheap, let's
now,
buy it,
yeah.
'cause
I
I'd be up
think
for that.
it didn't do well because they branded it as World War Z.
Yeah, but
Which
it's
is
basically Left 4 Dead.
A film, yeah,
A
the
film
film that was
from-
20 years ago.
I don't think they were allowed to do Left 4 Dead because that's someone else's
Yeah,
game.
but why
But
why
there
do
you
you
go.
have to even have an IP around that? You just go,
I know. Shoot some zombies!
we'll call it Zombie Shopping Centre or something.
Zombo shoot.
Zombie Aldi. And you could get sponsored by Aldi and get free Aldi stuff.
Yeah, I really want some free Aldi stuff.
Wait.
Hey, Aldi, if you're out there listening, we want free stuff.
Also, I like Tom's shoes.
All right,
Oh,
enough
yeah,
of this.
no, oh, yeah,
enough
there's
of this
some-
nonsense.
You've got a problem.
Stop.
You
I've
need
got
to
one.
get used
Yeah.
to Tom's Anonymous.
But the problem is that I have
Guys,
to keep paying for them.
This is
rather
not
than
a
getting them
platform
free.
for you to try and get free shit.
Not yet, it's not.
Matt has 20 pairs of slippers.
Right, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be right back with the quiz. It's the quiz.
Oh, I love the quiz.
This
I'm
one
glad you
is-
gave us such a long break so I could
Yeah,
check how
no.
much World War Z costs on PlayStation
Yeah, well,
Network.
we'll find out. Right. Now, this quiz, I'm going to do it slightly differently this time. I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to randomly pick one of you to go first. So the quiz today
Right.
is you have to name the top 5 highest or most selling games of all time.
Oh, this is easy.
Based on an article that I read that's
okay.
from 11 months ago.
So not Baba is you then.
It won't be Bamber as you. But I'm pretty sure, given how many of these have sold, that these are probably still accurate now.
Yes.
Now, the way this works is I will pick one of you at random by the flip of a coin, if I've got one, or a flip of anything that flips. And that person will have the chance to name all 5, if they can name all 5. If they get one wrong, it goes to the other person.
Right, okay. So it's like having control of the game in Going for Gold with Henry Kelly.
It's exactly like that.
So you have to do it in a Northern Irish accent, otherwise it's not legitimate.
Please don't.
I was about to do it, and then I thought probably better of
No.
it. Right. I don't have a coin, so Andy, you are going first by
Christ.
complete luck. Let me give you. I'm going to give you some.
I don't
I'm
even.
going to give you some background
I
music.
don't even know where to start with this. Is this a clue?
It actually is. It wasn't supposed to be, but you've got that one for free.
I don't have to get them in order then.
No,
No.
you don't. You don't have to get them in order.
Right,
I've
so-
fucked that a bit,
So
but
I'm
that's
gonna,
fine.
I'm going to start
This,
with.
I mean, the odds are quite slim because this is the only tune I've got. But
So
it's
I'm
on there.
going to have a guess
Yeah.
at Tetris.
Is correct.
Now,
do you want
we-
me to fill you in each time you get one right?
Yeah, okay.
Because I've got some background knowledge.
Yeah, can I just quickly clarify a point of order?
You can, yeah.
Is
Baba is you.
Is Barbara no. So is Tetris? Is that all forms of Tetris included in this, or is it just the
I
a
think in this
particular
case
version?
it's that original version of Tetris, but obviously it sold an absolute.
So, for
Shit.
example, if there was a series of stuff, is it just the series name, or is it
No, it's one-off
numbers
games. It
and
is one-off
stuff?
games.
So
yeah.
so we're talking. So if it's it wouldn't be the Golden Axe series. It would be Golden Axe 2.
Correct,
because that's the
yes.
better one?
Yeah,
So-
correct.
Really
That's a
tempted.
lot further down the list.
I was, yeah, thank
I'm
God for
just
that. I
gonna
was going to go
suggest.
for that.
So well done, Andy. You got Tetris,
Okay.
which was a little bit cheeky because I played the bloody music.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh Jesus.
yeah.
So go on. You go and talk us a bit about. You do
Oh
your
yeah,
blurb.
Tetris. 170 million copies of the
That's a
Tetris
lot.
sold, since its inception. So that is very, very impressive, and eclipses the other ones by a fair margin.
So is that? Sorry, just to clarify again, is that across all platforms? So that's like.
Yeah, it'll be
yes.
anything that is the Tetris license, I guess,
Right.
right?
Okay. Right. So Tetris.
Yes.
I do you know. I genuinely don't even know where to go with this. I'm going to say a game. This is probably fucking miles off. Street Fighter 2.
Not even,
No.
not even close. Matt Angel.
Right, I
I
reckon
could do the jingles. If you get one right, you get
right.
this.
I'm almost
If you get one
certain
wrong, you
that
get
I
this.
will know what the top one is.
Well, you've just had the top one, so you're wrong.
Oh, really?
In which case, yeah.
Because I always heard that Grand Theft Auto 5 was the biggest selling game of all time.
Yeah.
I think the stat with that is that
Money.
it's made the most
Yeah, yeah.
money of any
Which
piece of
doesn't
media
count
ever
really,
made.
because like money's 4 times more expensive.
Yes, but it is in the top 5. So GTA 5 is number 3, selling just under 100 million copies.
Now. Right. This is branching out a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's been released on every single console about 15 times in different versions. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
I'm afraid is incorrect.
Okay.
Andy, we've got three to get here.
The thing is, I don't know what to do because obviously, I don't know whether I should go to
Matt thinks
like
he knows
newer
now.
stuff because games sell in bigger volumes
Yes,
now than they
you
used
do
to.
is the answer.
So I'm going to
Tetris is kind of the outlier in that it is Tetris.
I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I
Yeah.
am going to say. I can't even remember the name of the game, and it was my game of the year last year. Cowboy Johnny 2.
Oh, Red Dead 2.
Yeah, well, it's obviously not that because
No. afraid not. I think Matt might be on something here.
World of Warcraft.
No, it's also incorrect.
How it?
It's
is
on
it
a
free
sub.
to-
It's on a subscription basis. You've mugged yourself off
Give
there.
him the jingle.
And you just give him the jingle.
Yeah, if I'm
Give
getting
him
them,
the
he needs to
jingle.
have them. Okay, all right. So,
Think. I was about to say think bigger, but that is the nature of this quiz.
yeah. And the thing is, it's easy when you've got them sat there in
it
front
really
of you,
is,
and
yeah.
I'm sat here thinking I haven't got.
Can
a
I?
fucking clue.
Do you want
All
some
right,
clues?
so I'm no.
No. If you don't get any clues, you have to make it entertaining for the listener.
Yeah, okay.
While you're umming and ahhing.
Or you can tell gags while we're rumming and
Oh,
ahhing.
just like that. I'll get my gags out. I'll
do
get
your
some
little kind of
material.
bit of repartee.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
fine. I'm trying to stall and think of games, but all I'm doing is stalling
know.
and failing.
You are.
All right, so I'm
Every time that Matt loses control, he looks really excited that he's got another guess.
Yeah, I need to. What I need to do is when I don't have control, I need to be
Yes.
sat there thinking like what he is.
Yeah.
Because now I'm trying to. Matt, you talk for a bit. So
I'm clearly not thinking very well because I've only got the one. But
You've had Tetris and Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah,
You've
that's
got,
one each.
You've got three more.
Ooh, FIFA.
No, it's incorrect. I'm going to have to give you a clue. Oh, no. Matt's got one.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, well, look, I'll tell you this much.
I've got 2 parts right.
No, none of those are in the top 5, but number 6 in the table is Super Mario Brothers.
The original Super Mario Brothers.
The original Super Mario Brothers, yeah.
I don't
41
believe
million
that.
copies.
Really?
41,
copies.
so that's not a huge
That's
amount.
not, no.
Further down the list, you've got Pokemon Red and Blue, for example. 32 million copies
Really?
sold.
Bloody
But
hell.
what's up in that top? Do you want a clue?
Oh, is it?
Would you-
World-
oh,
no,
no,
you
no,
don't.
hold
You
the
don't have
freaking
control.
phone.
You don't have control.
You've forgotten the rules of
I
our
was not
knockoff going
gonna
for gold
offer an
situation.
answer. I was trying to clarify the rules of the quiz.
Go on then.
Okay.
Is this worldwide?
I don't know. It's whatever this article is. Yes.
Okay. I think I might know one.
Okie dokie. I am going to say the game that comes to my head as follows.
It's amazing quizzing.
I can't think of any games. What
No, that's
video
it.
games are there?
I don't know. You've basically done them all now.
Yeah, no.
Can I give you some clues
Give me
here?
some
Because this is
clues.
embarrassing now.
I want a clue.
I'm going to give you
Okay.
a clue. One of these games is quite well known to be very high selling, but it wasn't a game that anybody would have gone out and bought.
Fortnite.
No.
I want a thing then.
Oh, sorry. Which one is it?
Thank you.
What, people would have stolen it?
No, it might have come with a console.
Oh, so Wii Sports.
Is the correct
See,
answer.
No,
I
I'm
had...
not. No, absolutely not.
So,
That's fucking. What's the cat? What? That's not. Nobody
wanted a
bought that
clue.
game. Nobody bought that game.
I would say the same argument for Tetris, because didn't that come packaged with the Game
probably,
Boy?
yeah, probably, yeah. But it was well known at
No.
the time, like that there was shitloads of copies of Wii Sports out. But
Yeah.
there you go.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
not having
I'm
that.
not
No,
accepting
you're
that.
wrong.
It's there.
No.
83 million copies.
No, that does not
across all
count. No,
platforms.
it doesn't count. No.
83 million copies doesn't count.
Yeah, because
83
nobody, not a
million
single human being bought that game,
They've got it.
and therefore it cannot
got
be.
it.
It cannot be the best-selling game.
They've got it.
It can't be the best-selling
It's
game
it's
because
number
nobody
4.
fucking bought it.
Wii Sports.
In which case, that U2 album that Apple put onto everybody's iPhone is the best-selling album of all time.
Did anyone actually
I'm not
listen
partaking
to
in
that?
that
I don't know if
whatsoever
I
in
listened
this
to that.
quiz. It's a fucking sham.
Monster Hunter.
It is incorrect.
That's weird because that sold buttloads in Japan.
You've got 2 more to go. One of them
Final
is a
Fantasy.
game. Stop it!
It's not okay. Learn the rules.
You quit.
One of
You quit over the Wii Sports thing.
He did, but he's back
it's a
in.
good
All right. Okay.
I was about to say a lot of people play this game, but again, that isn't a great giveaway. This is a game that's kind of associated with kids. They fucking love it. It's been out for about 8 years or something, and it's everywhere. And it's no surprise that it's sold over 140 million copies. It's Andy's turn.
140 million copies. I know what it is.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I'm just doing that to
Oh,
so
okay,
I'm just
good.
going to draw it out.
Just gonna make
I
it
actually don't know what it is at all.
The other one remaining in the list, if you want another clue.
Yeah, I do.
You got 2 remaining.
Yeah.
This is the 5th in the list. selling over 50.
Minecraft.
Is the correct answer.
Damn it.
So you've got one more. This one is a bit newer. It heralded a sort of new genre, I guess, that has come to the fore recently, and has sold over 50 million copies.
A new genre sold 50 million copies.
Do I hate it?
Yeah. Well, I don't think you've played it, to be honest.
All right. It's not what I thought it was. Then.
I don't know. I don't. Pressure is on. I'm going to say heralded a new genre. Don't know.
By the way, this is legit because I've got the same list on 2 different websites,
Yeah, but they just
including
put it from
IGN, so it must be true.
Fair enough. Although I'm still not having Wii Sports because
No,
I thought
It's
of that
there.
and then
It's
thought
on the
that's
same
not
one on
gonna be
both. It's actually there's another Wii Sports that's listed also in the table. Wii Sports,
Sports
Resort,
Resort,
also sold 33
But
million
that was a
copies.
purchased game. That's fine. That's
But it
legit.
also came with an additional bit of the controller that added into other games. So,
Yeah.
quite frankly, they were bribing you at that stage.
Yeah. So anyway, the last one in the list. Any guesses?
Okay, so something that heralded in a new genre relatively recently.
IGN gave it 9.5 out of 10.
Pokemon Go.
No, it was originally available on PC.
Oh, I was going to say Destiny, but
Originally on PC, but is on other things now. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what happens on PC. It's a completely alien world. Portal.
Right. This is terrible.
is it Dota? Dota 2?
No. This is terrible. You've done terribly.
Yeah, I
Give us another
realised
clue.
this.
Give us another clue.
Another clue.
I've almost told you what the game
No,
is.
you
I don't know
haven't.
what else to
all
do.
you did is said it's heralded in a new genre.
And it was on PC to begin with.
What new genre did it herald?
Well, that will give you the answer.
Oh.
Well, I would assume if it doesn't, then the podcast is over.
PUBG.
Is the correct answer.
Jesus.
Do you know what? 'Cause
Wow, that was tough, guys. That was extremely difficult.
Well, if you've got a list that doesn't make any sense, yeah.
That's the list. I don't make the list.
I mean,
I just read the list off a
Tetris was
website.
free. So was...
I don't think Tetris was free.
I don't think it was
I don't
free.
think it was free.
I think it was free,
I don't
but-
think it was. I think you had to buy Tetris. I think it did not. I mean, you might have been able to get a packaged version.
Yeah.
But in the same
I
way,
think there were also lots of rip-offs that weren't
Yeah.
officially Tetris.
because I got Destiny with my PlayStation because it was just what happened to be the boxed
Did you play
version
it?
in Sainsbury's. Yeah, I played it for about 2 hours and then threw it in the bin.
Yeah.
threw it in the
I
bin.
probably just traded it in actually. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see why World of Warcraft doesn't count in that instance because
Look, just because you lost the quiz,
I don't.
did
I
you?
don't think
I
there.
don't even know who.
I don't think there were any winners in
No,
this
there
quiz.
weren't.
and I reckon.
Tetris.
See, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because I reckon Fortnite would be on there if they accepted it because it's free. It's FTP. I don't reckon it's on the
Well,
list.
we're in a changing world, Andy.
Yeah.
It's a changing landscape, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's a
But
rich
also,
tapestry
like,
these
11
days of
months
ways
ago,
to be ripped off
so-
by game manufacturers.
Yeah.
There you go. So, well, that was terrible.
Okay.
We'll try the quiz again next time.
We got them all.
You did. I mean, it added 15 minutes of bad
That was
quizzing.
entertaining.
Was it?
Podcast
If it was
content.
entertaining, then we're,
When
then
you
we're all
edit
good.
it, just cut out all the wrong answers and we'll sound good.
I like the idea that this is edited.
I know. That's, you're clearly way out of line.
You're showing behind the curtain.
Opening my kimono. Should
Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
such
that.
thing occur. Well, gentlemen, it's been absolutely wonderful yet again to have you on the pod.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be next. What's up next? Well, we might play the World War Z game. That would be quite good.
Yep.
I have checked. It's £35. I think that might be a bit
that's a
out.
bit rich, isn't it?
I'm sure it'll be down in like a few months.
If it was $15.99,
Yeah,
I'd
bought
do
it
that.
right now.
Yeah.
I agree.
We'll have to find something else to play. I'm going to go back and play Borderlands 2.
Yes.
I might even play that tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or we could play Overwatch.
Oh, yeah, fuck, we haven't done Overwatch Corner.
Okay.
Hold on, I've got a jingle for that. Do I?
Yeah.
Have
we
we?
should have.
Oh, I've got this one.
Was that a boss?
was a shopkeeper.
Yeah, that's Andy trying to play
Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls. I thought I did have
was
that, but
asking for
I'm
that
new.
bloke.
You see, with my new technology here.
This is a shambles.
It is a shambles, isn't it? I thought I'd done it, but
The quiz went better than
I
this.
haven't. Yeah, so we'll have to. We'll leave that. we'll leave that, or we just imagine you're doing the Overwatch thing. Has anyone played the new Cuba map?
Yes.
To get to the point.
No, that's what I want to play tonight.
Right.
I have played it.
Is it good?
Yes.
It's an escort map, isn't it? And I
It's
love an escort map.
and it's massively open. There's loads of places to hide. There's like it's going through the streets of Havana, and it's like you can hide in almost every house. It's really difficult to defend, but I've always said that when new maps come out, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
actually it turns out that they know what they're doing. So most of the time,
Let's get on that tonight then.
Yeah, I'm well up for a little.
Yeah.
I'm well up for a little bit of that. And what else has been going on in the Overwatch world? Because I haven't played for a bit.
I'm
I
really good
suppose.
now. So,
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm
There we go.
winning more games than I'm losing, so that's a result. Like I said, I'm gonna push for platinum.
Are
this
you
season.
back on competitive now?
Yeah. I'm pushing for platinum. Like it's
I got
Platinum? Isn't
I
that 2,500?
Yeah.
yeah.
No
I got
way.
20 points from platinum.
Uh,
That was my best ever.
That same
Yeah.
time I was 50 from it, and then we had a
Yeah.
terrible
We
losing
really
streak.
did, didn't we?
Brutal.
But yeah, last season I started off at 1,700, went down to 1,400, and then finished at 2,000. And I thought, well, if I can get up 5,000 in there, I know it's a lower level, but I'll give it a go. And I've just started playing it, but I've got rules. I do not play around the time that children will be playing it.
How do you judge that?
Right, so I've learned that
Early in the morning, late at
I
night?
lose most of my games if
Yeah.
I play when I've just come back from work. And my
Okay,
guess is
yeah,
that
yeah.
the kids have just come home from school.
They're allowed
they're
their
on-
gaming time.
Saturday mornings lose all the time. It might just be that I'm hungover or something, but I find that Saturday evenings, any time past 9 o'clock at night and like late on Sunday,
Yeah.
in fact most day Sunday, I
just think I'm quite poor now. That's my.
I just haven't played enough recently.
yeah,
That's
I
part
think
of
I'm
it.
quite bad.
Right.
I
But
have-
let's get back on
Yeah,
it
let's
tonight.
get back on it.
Yeah.
Right.
I've started maining some Symmetra and Sombra as well, so
Nice.
that's just generally what I do now.
Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to bring this festival of entertainment to a close.
Let's do that.
It's been wonderful to have you back again and get back on the horse.
Horsey.
Yes. Back onto default horse number 3.
Yes.
Take him out for a little ride. And we will be back on the horse as soon as we possibly can. Hopefully we'll get Matt Holland back on so he can tell us some actual stuff about video games.
Yeah.
That's probably you should.
Up the sort of like knowledge levels
Yeah.
of the team slightly.
I bet he's played Babber as you.
I bet he has. Well,
You need to
Babber-
play Babber
How
as
much
you.
is it?
I don't think it was that expensive. I realise that's not an answer to your
It
question,
really isn't.
but
Well, Babber is Andy,
Babber is me.
Babber is Matt,
Babber is me.
and Babber is me. And we will see you next time on the Idiot Gamer Podcast.